Welcome to A Better Chance for Youth television show with your host, Monique Robinson, where we highlight, celebrate, and recognize students from all over the country who are doing great things in the classroom, community, and athletics. Every student deserves an opportunity for hope and a future. So let's celebrate our students, the next generation of teachers, engineers, entrepreneurs, and future leaders. Join us on another incredible segment of A Better Chance for Youth show with your host, Monique Robinson.
Hello, and welcome. So today we are going to Georgia. I hope that's where she's from. Actually, she's not from Georgia, but she lives in Georgia. But she'll correct me when she comes on. But I am so excited. I don't want to say her last name because I only remember the last name I know her by, but I am super excited about the changes she is making in education. So let's welcome Tennesha. Hey, Tennesha. How are you?
I am good, fellow Wilberforcean.
Awesome. So, right. I get Wilberforce people on here, but not that much. But when I do, I am like, this is home, this is family. Like, I don't have to be so, I guess, uptight, but.
Protocol.
Right. We can talk about business, but I am so excited that you are taking time out your busy day to come and talk to us about your project you have going on. But before you do, I know I said it off air, and I probably say it all the time. Guys, when I got to Wilberforce, Tennesha was like one of those game changers on campus. So it doesn't surprise me that this is what she's doing now. And also on campus, Tennesha probably saved me from myself. I know it's hard to believe I did have a past, but she saved me from myself so many times. And
I did too.
It's like, I tell kids, they're like, really? I'm like, yeah. Before Miss Mo came in existence, there was Monique. That was a special, unique person. But I do want to thank you for everything that you may have done that you didn't even realize you did for me on our great alma mater campus.
Yes.
So, Tennesha, what do you have going on? I mean, we can just jump right into it. What do you have? And so let's see. I want to actually, for you, because we do have young people watching, so they can at least know a little bit. They don't have to know everything of your educational journey. Because I'm like, I don't think she's from Georgia. I don't want to say.
No, I'm not. I'm from Chi-Town, Chicago.
That's because I'm like, she is not from Indianapolis.
Right. But, yeah, I'm from Chicago, and I had been with the school system, with the Chicago public schools, because first I was a correctional officer, actually. In Indianapolis. Yeah. I moved to Indianapolis right after I graduated from Wilberforce, and I couldn't find a job in my field. And I became a correction officer just to pay bills, things like that. And most of my family is in law enforcement. And so I said, well, I'll just do this for a while. And it was a negative and a positive, because it's actually what got me into education. So I was a correctional officer in Indianapolis, but I started to see the disparity of truly the pipeline to prison. And I was helping juveniles learn how to read in the juvenile sector of the prison. And I did not realize how many juveniles at that time, especially Black and brown ones, could be charged as adults and actually serving, 20 years to life at 15, 16. And most of the students, the young people that were there, always said to me, if I had just known, if I had just had a second, if somebody would have just told me, I wouldn't have went out and did this or did that, that would have led them to their whole life being taken. And so during that time, the warden was actually leaving the system and wanted to open the first charter school in Indianapolis. And he asked me, well, I see you working with the young people trying to teach them how to read and write, and their math. And I've always been good with math and teaching young people math. And he said, well, can you come with me? Do you still want to stay here, or do you want to get out? And I told him, yeah, I do. I want to leave. I did not want to be a correctional officer. And I just started to see the disparity so much that he said, well, I'll help you pay for your education to get your master's to go into teaching. I'm like, nah, he playing with me. And when he left, I left with him, and he helped me get my credits to be alternative teacher through the alternative pathway at that time in Indianapolis, and that's how I became a teacher. And when I left Indianapolis, I actually went through the leadership process to become a principal in Chicago Public Schools. So I was a counselor and then a principal in Chicago Public Schools. And that just taught me seeing that this disparity that we're going through in the school system is truly something to be seen in, and you don't understand it unless you're in the system and that you actually care about it. Like, even our pension fund goes toward different prisons in the country, And so I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. We don't even understand as Black teachers and Black educators that we're helping to fund the pipeline to prison. So that's how I got into, okay, I see that one day I want to start my own school, and I don't want to be controlled by what we teach as far as with the state or charter schools, because they're still owned by the state. So I just wanted something different, and I said, okay, I'm going to use my platform as a Black educator to start my own and to tell other educators they can start their own schools. We have all these degrees, we have all this knowledge, but we can't even truly give it to our students through the school system because we're so inundated with testing. We're so inundated with, lesson plans and all the other things they give us to do that takes away from our time, that we can't even love on our children anymore and give them actual information that will help them live. So that's why I said I was going to start my own school, and that's what I'm doing.
Wow, you you said a whole lot. I'm sitting here processing all of it because I'm an educator too, and just listening, I'm like, yeah, that's things I face daily. Sometimes I'm able to advocate and speak on stuff, and I mean, you know me well. Regardless if I'm allowed, I'm still gonna say it if it's wrong. Right. But I totally agree. It's not a fair, not a fair level playing field when it comes to certain things in education that are still inequalities. It's still things that, and especially where you're from. Like, you're originally from Chicago, and I kept thinking you was from Indianapolis. I was like, no, she's from Chicago. And there, like, I research and study everybody's educational things because I deal with kids all over. Right. So I have to know, like, okay, what is your background? What are they teaching there? But for you to name, like, some educators come on and they're very, like, don't want to name the elephant in the room. I appreciate you saying,
and it is an elephant in the room. And unfortunately, if it doesn't lead to prison, it can lead to death. Because I'm from, like I said, I am from Chicago, and my last 4 years between 20, I would like pretty say 2007 and 2010, we were going to funerals of Black boys almost every week. Every week, to some type of gang violence or, just anything, and it was because I feel like they didn't have the resources they need to be strong Black men, to understand that they didn't have to go that way. They see the gang as a family, and we should be their family. But if we don't give those type of resources and we don't love on our kids, and we're not allowed to anymore, all these things are taken away from us to build them up. Everything that we had in the school system when we were coming up, they have taken out. Vocational training, different sports, the arts, they're trying to put them back now. Of course, you got STEAM now, but at that time, between 2005 and 2010, they had taken everything out. And so we lost a lot of young men, to the streets of Chicago and those type of things. So if it's not prison, then it's death. And that's one too many Black children to lose. And usually because they didn't have the tools they needed to succeed, And so that's why I said at that point, it was becoming so disheartening for me to be an educator in the school system and still can't teach them anything outside of the school system that will help them thrive. When we get through talking about it, I tell people all the time, I've taken trigonometry and calculus. I've never used it in my life. But if you would have taught me finances, guess what? I probably could have started a business 20 years ago.
That part.
So all these things that we use, these teaching tools and all these type of things, I went to college and still never used calculus and trigonometry. So it was like, but you put all this pressure on me just to get my high school diploma, and these things don't help me live. And so now the disparity now is they don't want to go to college. You have that small sector that do, but it used to be where we wanted to just leave home. So we'd get up and go to college just to leave home. Mm-hmm. But our young people are seeing now the problem with debt, but that depreciates. Your education doesn't. That's an investment in myself.
Right. So can't take away from you.
To weigh the scale. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's what I look at, that if they don't have that knowledge, and a lot of times too, Sister Monique, is that our parents are not knowledgeable. A lot of our first generations and stuff like that, their parents don't know either because they went straight to work. So they're trying to figure it out too. Well, I can't take out a student loan and I can't do this and I can't do that. Well, those of us that know, we should be teaching them that. But if nobody ever tells you, and I'm right here in the boondocks of Georgia. I'm not in Atlanta. I'm in the boondocks of Georgia, which is considered, the outskirts, Hiram, Georgia, Paulding County, Carroll County. And none of the Black and brown counselors are able to tell the students about HBCUs, about what you can look forward to once you leave this. We just focus our kids in the four walls like they're going to stay in Georgia for the rest of their life, or they're going to just stay in Chicago the rest of their life. So we don't give them the information to empower them. And that's the problem. I think in our teaching and in starting my school for girls is that I want to give you the tools to thrive. And if I'm not giving you that, just giving you trigonometry is not going to help you live and take care of a family. And you're the one that's first generation, so that doesn't help you any, So that's what I try to focus in on. And that's what I'm looking at when I look at the disparity of what's going on now in the school system for Black and brown children.
Yeah, that like you said, that to me, and that's what I face every day. I'm glad more people are starting to speak up against it. And that's part of the reason why I started my nonprofit is because I was working in the trenches. I was a school counselor. I was a school administrator. I was, and I'm seeing the things that are being done hands-on. You are not telling kids about HBCUs, but yet you saying you want 100% of your kids to go to college.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, I totally agree with you when it comes to that. Like,
and I think you put it in one of your postings. We're just now putting the HBCUs on the Common App.
It's like, okay, we want to put our name on it now. He's been doing it. He's been doing the Black Common College app.
Yeah.
$20. Actually, we actually promote him on a lot of our things. $20, you can apply to over 68 schools. Right. And some of the guidance counselors, they don't do that.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? I work out here in Paulding County, and I have Black and brown students, but it still is majority white out here. But when I talk to the Black and brown students, because my daughter was in the system here before she left for the military, I would ask the students, where you want to go? What do you want to do? And I would ask them, why you don't go to a HBCU here? Oh, I didn't know Savannah State was a HBCU. You live in Georgia. You mean you don't know the HBCUs right here in your own state? And you don't know that you can use your Georgia benefits right here in your own state where it costs you less in your own state. Now, don't get me wrong. Some states don't have a HBCU, but those that do, don't you think they should be pushing that to the students, and going to those schools? The only thing you tell them about is Georgia State, like it's the only school here.
We have 9. We have, I think 9. Some of them might not be open anymore here in Texas.
In Texas, yeah.
And when I say it's like pulling teeth, oh no, we just want to go here. We just want our kids to go here. Like, I have several friends who are alum and several friends that are actual admissions counselors. One year it was so bad. I'm not going to put the school on blast, but one of the counselors had to have a meet and greet at one of the local restaurants because the school district did not open their doors so that person can have get to meet students so they can possibly go to that HBCU.
HBCU, yeah, that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. You know, it has to make it popular for everybody to want to go to a HBCU now. It's the end thing to do now because you know certain celebrities have talked about the HBCUs and stuff like that. But
it's trending.
I think, yeah, it's crazy to me. And so, not understanding. You know, and don't get me wrong, PWIs have their place for those students that have to go there, for Black and brown students that have to go there and offer them the money. But here's the thing. I've seen a lot of students go to PWIs and they come right back home. So now you've taken out a loan and went in debt to come right back home because you felt out of place and you wasn't loved on, you were not taken care of. Nobody made sure that you got on the path to stay to graduate. Like a HBCU will. No college campus will love and take care of you and wrap themselves around you like a HBCU. I don't care what nobody says. So it's the thing of you got your money, your number, figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And you do have some Black and brown students that can figure it out and go right through there. But you got a lot that don't. And they wasn't prepared when they went. They wasn't prepared when they went. We're seeing now in the high schools, the study habits are so poor. You know, the writing skills are so poor. You're sitting here using chat, GTP, things like that, things that could get you in trouble with plagiarism. The skills are so low by the time they come in. They're taking remedial classes when they do go to college. So they're feeling like I'm in high school all over again. I'm not doing anything different. I'm not learning anything different. And they don't find their place at these PWIs, and then they end up back home. And the unfortunate thing, if they flunk out, then it's hard for them to get back into another school. And they've taken out loans and made investments and things like that and just did not know what they were set up for. And I can't convey to you what it's like to be at a PWI because I didn't go to one.
You know, my advanced degrees, I didn't. Well,
right, for the advanced degrees, but undergrad, you know, my first love. Look, let me tell you, until somebody asked me where I went to grad school, I don't never mention it. I went to one school, Wilberforce. That's it.
That's funny because I do the same. Like
I have to literally think sometimes, where did I get my advanced degrees at? Because people never, you know, until they ask me, I have to say, oh yeah, Northeastern, you know. But other than that, if somebody asks me where I went to school, it's Wilberforce, you know. So I can't convey to students what it's like to go and take your time and go to a PWI and what you will face. But what I can tell you, what you won't get is the love and respect and the comfort of knowing that you're with family like you would at a HBCU. That I can't tell you what you won't get at a PWI. I can't tell you what you will get, you know, but I know the love and the honor and respect of being around people that look like you, that feel like you, that want to be great in life is right there at a HBCU, you know. And sometimes
one that you succeed. And I think I know I dealt with a lot of personal family issues at Wilberforce. And I still to this day, a lot of those people who were there that know exactly when I got the call about my sister, you know, they still to this day like, Mo, you all right? I know it's around that time, you know.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, you won't get that. You might get some people that be like, hey, I'm sorry for your loss, but they're not gonna show up.
Right. Yeah. You know, for weddings, anniversaries, you know, we come together at homecoming and done that, you know, all these things to celebrate and love on one another. Even to this day, my best friends from Wilberforce and from my HBCU experience at Central State right across the street, you know, just meeting and being around people that look like you, that love on you and want to see you do better. And as alumni, when you join your alumni council in your state or your city, it's like, man, we haven't missed a beat. We're just still on, everybody cheering each other on. Seriously, you know, when I go to the HBCU meetings for Wilberforce alumni, it's let's go. What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? How can we support this? How can we support that? You know, we got our chat rooms. And I know every HBCU has that, you know, where they're still supporting their alumni, pushing them forward, always giving them those accolades they need to stand them up. So that's what I look at when I look at starting my own school. And I told my husband when I initially wanted to start my school, I just look at Bethune-Cookman. You know, the greatest influence to me as far as a woman starting an institution. Come on, man. What she did to start her school, you know, who would thought years later? I know she probably never thought in her mind that to this day, I will still have Black and brown students getting degrees in mass numbers in every field of endeavor, you know. So I use her as my catalyst, you know, that's what I set my sights on. What she did.
And she's in DC. So yeah.
Come on now. Come on. The girl was bad as all get out. And what she did, you know, and don't get me wrong, there was other women that helped start institutions, but I just look at Bethune-Cookman as the catalyst for me, as having what you need to start a school. And if you don't have anything, which she didn't, she had $1 in her pocket, you know, and is one of the greatest HBCUs. And so I know if she could do it and she didn't have anything but her voice and $1, I know I can do it too. So that's what I push for. And so I'm starting my school next year. We're starting off as a after school program this year, but come next year, when the school year starts, we will be a full all girls private school, nonprofit private school, so that we can teach the culture to our young ladies, and it can be a safe zone. I'm gonna tell you another thing, sis. I hate when I hear on the news that Black girls and Black young men can't even wear their hairstyles, or they're depreciated, devalued for their hair, or just being in the school, you know, regardless to what city or state they're in, they gotta, you know, feel some type of way when they go into school. No, the school should be a safe zone, and it should be other people advocating for them that work there. If that's not what you're doing as an educator, then you shouldn't be an educator. If you're not standing up for kids, I wish somebody would hurt a Black or brown child while I'm standing there. So that's how I feel about having this safe space for these girls, is that you could come in here, you can feel proud of your skin tone, your hue, who you are as a young lady. I'm going to give them every affirmation that they need to be proud of who they are and whose they are, and give them that so that when they do finish in our program, even though we're only going up to 8th grade, they know going into high school, I am that woman. I'm that great woman that's going to make a change in the world, and I was given the tools to do so. So that's what I look at, and that's what I strive for.
Wow. We have just flown by everything. My goodness. But I don't, you know, hey, it is. Hello. My name is Monique Robinson, and I am a children's author. I also wear a lot of other many hats, but today I am going to talk about my books. Now, how the idea of writing came about, it was actually my nephews, Junior and Mark, have motivated me to want to write. I love literacy. I've been an educator for 23 years, and reading is very important to me. And when they told me they didn't like to read, who says that? So when my nephews told me they didn't like to read, what I did as their aunt is I created children's books that has African American boys doing some unique, amazing things. And it has like a little twist in some of them because they also inspire historical facts in one. Now, recently, I am in the works of making another children's book that deals with Kwanzaa. So that one will be out during the holidays. So please, please, please check that one out, or follow me and see when that one will get released. But right now I have this book here. It actually is all 3 of my books in one. So it has my first book, ABC Black History, where it goes through the alphabet of all the African American inventions. And then I have my second book, a unique adventurous story about the magical cheese. And then my most recent one, which is everyday, it's Black history. You know, Black history can be something in history has happened every day. And all 3 of my books, just really, really love them. The pictures make you feel like you are in the adventure. But as a teacher, to see scholars light up when they see things that represent them inside the book is also wonderful. Now, you can purchase my children's book on Amazon, or you can inbox me and I can probably give you a cheaper rate than Amazon. But they are on Amazon, they are on Lulu, they are on Barnes and Noble. But most important, when you read my book, you will see pictures that, I don't know if you can really see it, pictures where the characters actually look and resemble us. It represents us. I'm really excited about my upcoming book because growing up in my family, we actually celebrated both. My family celebrated Kwanzaa and we also celebrate Christmas. So this book that's coming out is going to tell that story from my nephew's point of view. And I can't give you all the details of the story yet because I'm so excited that we are venturing out and actually doing a holiday one this year. But I love to see our young people read. And I love it more importantly when they read and they see them reflecting in the pages. So my name is Monique Robinson. I have been an author for, I want to say, 6 years as a published author. Used to write all the time when I was in school, according to my mom. She used to tell me I used to have notebooks of just poems and things like that. So I wish I could find it because then I could probably share it with you guys. But I really do love the fact that there are a lot of African-American authors who are doing some amazing things that are reaching out, that are touching the lives of youngsters. I also would like to collaborate. I am a collaborating author, and I can't do anything but thank the Filmpreneur Project for pushing me in that aspect of my life to where I'm able to write down things that I may have experienced, and I'm able to also talk about it. But like I said, today I'm strictly here for the children's books, but I just wanted to inform you that, hey, get on Amazon, get on Lulu. This one is actually on for purchase on Lulu, but if you do not want to pay those extra fees and things, you can actually get it through me. Send me your info and I can send you an invoice, and you can get all 3 books in one book for the price of one. So pretty amazing. Now, the other thing that I would like to tell you is be on the lookout for our Christmas book. Also, be on the lookout for another journal. I can't say another journal. I'm excited about this journal because it is youth affirmations for young people, because often we do things, but we forget about our young people. So we're going to have several things coming out as the holiday season is approaching. So look out for our Christmas book and also look out for our journal. Now, if you have any questions about the books, about meeting me, you can email me at mrobinson@abcyouthfuturesinc.com, or you can just follow me on Facebook and inbox me. You can follow me on actually any other social media sites and inbox me, and we will greatly assist you with your needs.
Thanks for watching A Better Chance for Youth television show with your host, Monique Robinson. The television show where we highlight incredible students in their quest to change the world. Join us each and every week as we uplift our youth and help them on their journey to the bright future they deserve. So until next time, God bless. From your friends on A Better Chance for Youth television show with your host, Monique Robinson.